Hi, everybody. This is Digital Marketing Depot broadcasting live. I'm Chris McDonough. Thanks for joining us for Local SEO Automation Delivers Results for Multi-Location Businesses. We are very happy to welcome Bill Connard and Tyler Ludwig. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning or afternoon on the East Coast.
How you doing?
Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to get to you in just a few seconds. I want to tell the audience just a couple of things before we get started. If you need some help or have a question for our speakers, just use that Ask a Question box, and we'll do our best to help you out. And you can use that Ask a Question box anytime during the broadcast. So if something comes up that you'd like some more explanation on, feel free to use that while they're talking. If you want to tell a friend or check out Rio or Digital Marketing Depot or SMX, there are some buttons at the bottom of your screen. You can click on those, and I'll take you where you want to go. We are also tweeting today at hashtag Rio SEO if you would like to join that. Hop on board there. Finally, we are recording this broadcast, and we will make it available for viewing on demand this afternoon. We'll let you know when it's ready, or just check our website at digitalmarketingdepot.com. And I'm going to let you know by email blast, too, when this is ready, right after this broadcast is over. I can tell you for sure that there's a lot of good content in here. You might want to revisit this again. So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about who you're going to hear from today. Bill Connard serves as a VP Local Search Solutions for Rio SEO, which offers SaaS-based automation solutions for SEO and social media marketing to both in-house digital marketers and digital agencies. Tyler Ludwig is Interactive Marketing Manager for Rio SEO. He has over 6 years of digital marketing experience and has designed, developed, and launched local search programs for over 20 enterprise brands. There's some more information on our speakers on the left side of your screen as well. But without further ado, I would like to hand the reins over to Bill to get us going. There you go, Bill. Here you go.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everyone, for joining our webinar today. We're excited to share some new insight and information around local SEO automation. And so what we want to share with you today is the three things that we'll be digging a little deeper into and what you'll learn about. And the first piece will be how to measure the effectiveness of your local SEO efforts, understanding what your efforts are doing and how they're affecting your traffic and rankings. How to quickly track your local search performance with automated local search reports, so monitoring and tracking what's happening based on your efforts, and then how to use summary reports to compare reports with conversions. So are higher rankings delivering more conversions? Are more reviews delivering more conversions? Things like that. So we'll jump right into it and start with measuring the effectiveness of your local SEO efforts. And so when we talk about our first plan, it's always plan, do, review. Make your plan, plan your approach by starting with what conversions you expect to measure and what is your definition of success. Is it higher rankings? Is it more traffic? Is it more conversions? More form fills? We're going to share how to implement local analytics and measure both traffic and click activity across all your local landing pages and your store finder. And then track and review the results. Are you receiving higher rankings? Are your citations clean and correct? And are you tracking your reviews, both online and offline conversions? And then rolling up reporting for your entire network. So understanding what your entire network of stores or locations is, how it's performing, and how it's ranking across the local search ecosystem. So let's start with defining your ROI requirements. What will you measure? And so what we've seen with our clients is everybody measures website analytics, but are you separating your analytics to your store finder and your local landing pages? Also, you want to track how many calls are coming in. You can either have call tracking numbers with images on your local pages. You can also see how many people click to call. So from mobile tracking activity, making sure that you're putting a click-to-call tag on all your call tracking coming from mobile pages. And other click activities like driving directions. Are you measuring driving directions and using that as a measurement of how much traffic's coming into your local store? Or are you getting loyalty fill-outs or coupon downloads? And so you definitely want to measure all the conversions that are important to higher activity. You want to measure your ranking to see if you're ranking in a market and whether or not those rankings have effects on traffic coming into your local landing pages. And also brand consistency. Are there dashes or spaces where they're supposed to be, or capitals or non-capitalized businesses, things like that. So making sure that you're measuring your brand consistency across the ecosystem. And then what is success? Is it increased traffic? Is it an increase in leads, form fills, or appointments? Or is it more conversions in store or online? Is it more foot traffic? Is it a higher average order value? All of those different things really should be planned out in the planning phase to understand what it is you're measuring and what success looks like when you're done. So measuring local search traffic, we'll start there. First thing you want to do is make sure that you get your web analytics into your local pages and identify your goals and your click events. What are you going to be calling these activities? Is it driving directions? Is it coupon download? Is it form fill or schedule an appointment? The naming of those analytics is a key piece there to make sure that you're calling your activity what you want to show up in your reports when you're summarizing the reports after the fact. You want to be able to segment traffic to your location finder. So being able to look at chunks of locations, like all of your locations in California, or maybe all your Southern California locations, or even locations in a particular city where you may have more than one location, and all the way down to your local landing pages. So making sure you can set your filters and segment your traffic and your reporting by groups of locations or location types. And then being able to identify traffic by source. So traffic coming from Google because of higher rankings in Google. Are you seeing more traffic from yellowpages.com because you've optimized and corrected your listings in yellowpages.com? So sorting out your referral traffic and measuring that traffic based on higher rankings and more presence in the digital directories is a key piece. And so those are the important elements that we feel you should be identifying when you're looking at your local search traffic. So the next piece is identifying local user behavior. What are these people clicking on when they come to your site? And what they're clicking on, is that what you're trying to drive as the overall conversion? So click activity reporting, again, we talked about driving directions. Click to call, a big one there, coming from mobile. Every time somebody taps on your phone number and calls from your mobile device, you will have a click activity that will report that. Social sharing is a big one. Are people sharing your coupons or your locations word of mouth? I'm going to this location, or this location is having a sale. Is that being shared in copy-paste URLs or shared on Facebook and things like that? As well as shopping online. We've seen a large uptick with our clients from online conversions with higher rankings in local. So as you rank higher in local and get more traffic, that more traffic converts and actually can purchase online, especially in environments where a brand has a pick up in store, buy online, pick up in store, a click and pick, things like that. And then the social analytics is really a nice piece that's an added benefit that most people don't take advantage of, and that is understanding how word of mouth or social sharing can influence more traffic to your site, and what type of users are doing that influencing. So social analytics is a key piece, and it's another nice piece of our platform that we've been able to integrate into automated local SEO. So the next piece here is reviewing your local SEO impact. So is the impact of your rankings, higher rankings, cleaner citations, is it driving the online and offline conversions that you're looking for? So online store referral traffic. Are you looking at coupon downloads as opposed to coupon redemption? And we've seen clients with as much as a 25% redemption in coupons to measure traffic from their local pages. So that's definitely a nice piece. And then marketing campaign insight. Are your loyalty programs working? Conversion from paid search campaigns. You can drive paid traffic to your local landing pages and analyze and report from that as well. And then the ability to retarget to social influencers. So if somebody actually shares your location with a friend or family member, then can you influence them with additional advertising? And that customized, personalized advertising is very relevant to most consumers now. So the next slide we have is tracking your local rankings. So you definitely want to see how your rankings are when you start. So what we normally do for our clients is we run a baseline ranking report. This allows a client to understand whether or not their web properties are ranking for not only their branded local terms, something like Sports Authority San Diego, but also local terms like Sporting Goods San Diego or Sporting Goods Stores San Diego. And so it's really important to understand exactly how you're ranking now locally in all your markets, and then measure the effects of your efforts. So after you've began to track your rankings, are you looking to make sure that they're ranking in both the organic area, the local results map pack, as well as third-party organic results? And we've seen our clients' third-party pages climb in the rankings as well, giving them more real estate when it comes to generic search terms. So tracking local rankings is huge, making sure you're doing it in both organic and the map pack, and then also making sure that you're doing all three engines and looking for third-party organic results is a key piece of tracking your local rankings. So we have a poll question. Chris, do you want to facilitate this one, or would you like me to walk through it?
I'll jump in here. Audience, this is what are your chance, and actually what we'd like to know is how you measure your local search efforts. And you can check all that apply here. Let me read off some of the options here. Web traffic to local landing pages, media downloads, none of the above, Google Analytics, other web analytics like Core Metrics, Omniture, or Web Trends, mobile traffic analytics, on-page click activity, call tracking, coupon promotion redemptions, social analytics, online conversions, media downloads, and again, none of the above. So hang on a sec. Let's just see what we've got here for results. Let me give everybody just a chance to voice their opinion or their choices here, Bill, and I will go ahead and push that out. All right, it looks like we've got a bunch of good answers here. Hang on. Boy, everybody's pretty much spread across the board here. Is that what you expected?
Wow, some great numbers there. So, yes, it's nice to see 82% are using Google Analytics. That actually is a pretty amazing number there. But some of these numbers, you look at it, and there's just a fraction of the overall respondents are managing all of these different elements that are part of your local SEO efforts. So we're going to jump off the poll there and move on to the next slide, and we're going to talk about how to track your search performance through automated reporting. Okay, and so we'll get started. So the first thing you want to do with your automated reporting is schedule reports. How often are you going to run these reports? Daily, weekly, monthly? And how often will you compare the information? You want to set your search criteria based on your KPIs. So what terms are you looking for? And those terms, are they actually, are you ranking, and are they the ones that are converting for all your conversions to your local stores? Hyper-local reporting data, and then we're going to track your consistency, and this is a big one here. Name, address, phone number, tracking to make sure that your information is correct on the engines. We're looking for local citations like Yellow Pages, Super Pages. We're looking at search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. And we're also looking at the data aggregators, InfoUSA, Axiom, Localese, Factual. Anywhere where your brand resides in a data aggregator, you want to make sure that your data is consistent and your name, address, phone number is complete. And so reporting and measuring that is really important. And then you also want to be able to track reviews and ratings by site. So are my ratings in Yelp up or down? Am I receiving more ratings? What are my star ratings? Once you have all that information, then you'll be able to compare it to more traffic and higher rankings. So utilizing automated reporting, what we do with our platform is we can set it weekly, monthly, or quarterly, and we'll go in and define the search criteria. So what is the business name, address, and phone number, and is it spelled right? Is it branded right? We're going to define the local search terms that we're measuring. So for our clients, we definitely measure branded search, again, something like JCPenney Dallas. But we also measure other terms like department stores or clothing stores, jewelry stores, things like that, those generic terms that are not branded, but they are definitely localized where brands can receive more traffic. And then we're going to look at the websites and directories that we want to monitor. There's a lot of niche directories out there. Monitoring them all can be very difficult, but monitoring the important ones, the ones that are driving the most traffic to your site, can help you rank higher, as well as see how much traffic's coming from those and the effects of it. And then the hyperlocal reporting. So we'll jump into the next piece here, monitoring your local data consistency. So we talked about the citation management, or your name, address, phone number. And this is a really important piece these days. As more and more businesses submit and control their data in more and more directories, you have the ability here to make sure that all your information is correct and consistent. So when Google, Yahoo, and Bing look to validate your information through outside sources, does it match or does it mismatch? And when it matches, you're more relevant, you're validated, and you're going to rank higher. And when it doesn't match, you're not going to rank higher, and you're going to have conflicts. The other things we look at when we look at your citation is, do you have the right categories? Do you have the right products and services? Are you attaching a local URL? And that's a huge piece, attaching your local landing page URL to all of your directory listings gives you that reporting foundation and environment to measure all the traffic coming in from all these different citation areas, as well as other additional contact information like localized descriptions and things like that these data aggregators can have. So you're going to scan and compare all your external networks. You want to look at your data aggregators and make sure the information's correct with them. You want to look at social networks like Yelp, City Search, and Foursquare, and Facebook, anywhere where you might have a business reference. You want to make sure it's correct. So you want to be able to scan and compare your information there. And then you want to scan niche online directories and make sure your information's right in GPS devices. And so those niche online directories and GPS devices are powered by the aggregators. And you can compare that information to those aggregators to make sure that it's correct and that you're driving customers to a location that is actually open and has the correct information to the consumer. So reporting on customer reviews. This is a nice piece of software that there's many options out there, but the ones that are really important here are the ones that are driving most of the traffic and most of the reviews, and what we've seen have the most effect on higher rankings. And so you definitely want to go look at your Google Plus pages, your Yahoo local pages, your Yelp pages, Super Pages, Foursquare. Check those, scan them, look and see if you've had a review. Is that review a good review or a bad review? And do you need to get more reviews to affect that review and affect your overall ratings? And so you can measure ratings over time, your average ratings by site, how many ratings by location or your city and state and national locations, and identify opportunities for improvement. And so when we look at measuring your reviews and your average star reviews, what we're wanting to understand is, if we went from 4 stars to 4.5 stars on Google+, did that have an effect on rankings on Google+ and drive our listings higher? If it did not, or had no effect on it, then maybe focusing on reviews on Google+ isn't where we want to drive or focus our efforts. So we want to make sure we're measuring all of this information, and that's the elements that we talk about and recommend for measuring for customer reviews. So let's talk about a poll question here for customer reviews. Chris?
Okay, audience, same drill here. You can check off as many as you would like, and the question is, do you currently have software to report on any of the following? Google rankings, Yahoo rankings, Bing rankings, citation accuracy for what was that number?
That's your name,
phone? Name,
yeah.
address, phone. That's what the NAP stands for, right? Reviews for each location, average review rating by network, data accuracy in external data aggregators, none of the above, or we do not currently have local reporting software. Okay, everybody, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes. We've just got a few of our audience members in so far. All right, making some progress. Just want a few more answers to make sure we've got a good round number here for you, Bill. Okay, I think I've got a good solid number here for you. There you go. There's the results.
Gotcha. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, so looks like not even quite 50% of people are measuring their Google rankings alone, and I think the one that really sticks out to me is Yahoo and Bing. You know, those two engines account for 30 to 35% of overall search traffic, and yet only 25% of people are actually measuring or monitoring their rankings there. And then the citation accuracy, only 13%. That's a huge one. As more and more people are putting the relevance on citation measurement, having only 13% of the people actually able to report that is pretty interesting. So some good stats there, and we'll be able to share these on the recorded webinar at a later date. So we're going to jump in. I want to introduce Tyler Ludwig for the next piece here, and he's going to share about how to use these reports to compare your results with conversions.
Perfect. Thanks, Bill. Hi, everybody. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast so far. So I want to jump into some real examples and some great ways of combining the reports to help you from a marketing perspective as well as from an ROI perspective. So some of the three areas that we like to talk about is defining, combining, and rolling up. So making sure that everything in there, everything that we've covered so far can easily be presented in a single executive report, as well as you have the flexibility with the platform to be able to combine those and get some analysis. So the first part of it is obviously defining your location set. So we talked about creating specific location groups by city, state, or by store type. We can also combine data sources, so cross-channel reporting is a huge thing nowadays, is how your social is affecting your organic traffic or your SEO, as well as how SEM is contributing to local as well. And then finally, creating up roll-up reports, and this is really where multi-location businesses get into a bit of a trouble, because combining spreadsheets and combining multiple reports from different platforms really complicates things when all they want to do is take their paper upstairs and show their boss how awesome they're doing from a broad or national perspective. So we'll jump in and show some kind of example reports of how you can combine these. So the first part is search impact of citation accuracy. So making sure that your location, name, address, and phone number is correct on both local and the map pack, which is when localized results or results drive a map in Google search or Yahoo and Bing, as well as provide local listings to that specific location on either Google Plus or their local landing page. Those won't happen for everything, but what you can see here is by improving a customer's or a brand's naming over all of their locations across Google, Yahoo, and Bing local listings, can drive more traffic because it drives more consistency around their brand name and is targeted around the products and services that they actually care about. So when a brand's name is actually different or being hijacked by another maybe competitive brand, it leads the user to a poor user experience, which can affect your local ranking and your traffic based on Google's best practices. Bill, do you have any insight around that as well?
No, I think just the key piece here is being able to compare if your citation correctness has an effect on your ranking.
Great. So the second piece is review. So this has kind of gone through the SEO and SEM space as well as the social sphere for quite a few years now, with the emergence of Google+, Facebook being a much bigger player in the game, as well as Foursquare still staying around. So what you want to see here is reviews can affect your ranking. It can affect it even from a traffic perspective. If you have negative reviews, it's going to affect how much traffic is coming to those pages based on customer loyalty and trust. But from how reviews affect you on a local perspective and a local ranking perspective, using the ability to combine reports that measure your rankings over time as well as your reviews over time can show you a great trend as if your average star rating is going up or if your average number of reviews is going up, how that's affecting, and now you can combine that with traffic if you have the software tools in place. But why this is important, too, is that social is being integrated in more and more into everything that we do, with Facebook being integrated into Bing, as well as Google Plus with their high standing through the integration with Google, as well as YouTube. So there's a lot of drivers from reviews that people are starting to use through those specific networks to find your businesses through niche directories that you're listed on. Those are highly impactful for when it comes to a user experience and how your business looks across the whole entire spectrum. So we talked about it briefly is, how can you compare your average ratings and rank? So this is a great way to see if your sentiment of your business across all of the locations or even specific locations is being used to drive rankings and drive better familiarity from the search engines that are more relevant to your users. So using roll-up reports or using specific custom software or local software will allow you to combine specific reports like this, like we showed before, so that you can see how, which is kind of a black hole nowadays anyways, is how ratings are actually affecting your rank in Google or in organic as well as local results. And then another great thing or metric to compare against each other is rankings effect on traffic. I think we all know that if you have more rankings or much better rankings, that therefore you will have an increased number of traffic. But that also is kind of a hidden thing as well, because there's no software that really provides you with specific rankings unless you have implemented through search criteria that uses geomodification and things like that. And then combining that with traffic. So Google Analytics won't give you a ranking versus your traffic report, but it will give you the ability to pull that information out and then combine it with other reports like we have done with our software. So a great way to see that rankings over time, therefore, should mean more traffic, but if it went the other way, that means it would give you a clear point of where you can attack next and find those hidden areas. It might be reviews, it might be ratings, it might be something else within your page or through a technical error that could be driving that as well. And then the final piece is really making sure that your traffic and conversions. So this is a basic marketer's principle. Obviously, we're going to do a program. We want to get more conversions, more form fills, more whatever that ROI KPIs are. And so with reporting, you can combine those together. And you can get a lot of this from Google Analytics or your analytics program, but measuring it based on those specific location sets or specific store types really can paint a picture for a marketer when they're targeting, maybe doing a promotion around a specific campaign, driving through different channels, and how that affects your traffic to those local landing pages or to those locator pages. Really gives you a good sense of how traffic and conversions therefore correlate when it comes to the ROI of your campaigns.
Thanks, Tyler. So we're going to jump on to the next poll here. We've had a few questions coming in about how to localize, your search efforts or focus your local search efforts, and what are the processes. And so this is really a checklist here of what are the best practice local SEO efforts that you're currently engaged in. If you're doing all of these right, then you're doing what you should be doing for local SEO efforts. So let's go ahead and throw that poll out, Chris, and see how many people are actually doing all the effort that it takes to maximize local search coverage.
Okay, I see some answers coming in already, but let me go ahead and read the possible answers just in case. On-page local SEO is a possibility. Citation Management Info Group, Citation Management Axiom, Citation Management Factual, Citation Management Yext, mobile-focused local SEO, map optimization, claiming locations on Google, claiming locations on Bing, claiming locations on Yahoo, and citation management with local ease. Okay, it looks like we've got a significant number of answers in already. I'm going to give everybody just a few more seconds here, Bill, to make sure we get as many answers that people who do want to answer can get in. And it looks like we have some pretty big winners here. Looks like on-page local SEO and claiming locations on Google are the big winners so far. Is that what you expected?
That's what I've seen to date, yes, but it shows you that there's quite a big lapse in overall direction around local SEO, and people can get caught up in the details of optimizing for Yext or optimizing for Google, but ultimately you need to do all of these things, and you need to manage all of these environments. It's not just a single approach to a single engine. If you're not managing those other locations, if you're not managing your information with Localese and Info Group, then it could be incorrect, and that could affect your Google rankings. Even though you may manage them with Google Direct, you're having conflicts. So if anyone's looking for the blueprint of the activity that's required to optimize for local SEO, take that list and use that as your checklist of things you need to be doing to maximize your local search coverage. So we'll jump into a summary here, and then we'll open it up for some questions that have come in from the participants. And so the summary is: plan your approach. What are you going to measure? What is your definition of success? If you're a business-to-business company and walk-in traffic isn't a measurement of success, then maybe it's telephone calls or appointments scheduled. So what is your conversion? How are you going to measure success? Is it more appointments? Is it more transactions? Implement local analytics. There's a couple questions of what software to use. There's multiple ranking softwares out there to use, but whatever software you choose, you want to measure both your traffic and your click activity across your local landing pages and your Finder, whether it's Google Analytics, whether it's Core Metrics. Make sure that you've separated your Store Finder and local landing pages, and you're able to segment that traffic and analyze that traffic for click activity and conversions. And then the third piece, again, track and review your results for both citations and reviews, both which can have a big effect on your rankings. So make sure that your information is correct anywhere that it can be found. And again, the blueprint was the 4 data aggregators, the 3 major search engines, and the social networks that are important to you. So track and review your results for both rankings and citation and review tracking. And now there's probably 10 or 15 softwares out there that can review your average rating and how many reviews you have. You want to be able to gather that information and bring it into your roll-up reporting for your entire network. That's a big piece, and we've seen more and more brands want to know this now. They want to segment a chunk of locations in a certain area. They want to apply optimization to those pages. They want to measure whether or not that optimization has had an effect on ranking, and whether or not those rankings has had an effect on traffic and conversions. So get all your data points together, get yourself some software that can roll them all up into a single environment, and then compare your efforts to the conversions, and then you've got a winning formula for how your local SEO is driving more success and conversions. So we're going to jump into some of the questions here that we've got on there. I think the first one is what is a third-party rank? Tyler, would you like to give us an idea what that is?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question. So a third-party rank is anything outside of your brand or the specific native search engine that you're looking at. So that could be anything from a listing of yours that's ranking on Yelp, or maybe a Facebook location page or business page is ranking in organic results, as well as other ones like super pages, yellow pages, more of the niche online directories that house your local information if you are managing them through data aggregators or direct submission to those services. So having the ability to not only make sure that your pages are ranked or your domain is ranking, but also to see where your business information lies on an external website is also ranking in those organic or local results. So bunch of different, the resources or the niche directories can go pretty far, but definitely it's anything outside of your domain or your more of controlled web experience.
So third party would be like a Yelp, right? Like my Yelp listing is ranking on the first page of Google.
Right.
Or my Foursquare page or Urban Spoon, something like that. Great. Thanks, Tyler. So the next question here was, does it matter how many stars you have on Google+? That's really only an answer that you can tell by checking the reporting in your rankings. Every social network and its rankings and ratings have a different effect. And the only way to tell is, do you rank higher when your Google Plus star ratings go up? And that's where your roll-up software is going to allow you to compare your traffic or your ranking levels coming through to a particular store as your ratings and reviews go up and down. There's a question here, what is the map pack? The map pack is a good one that some people may not be aware of. That is where a map pops up on the search results page, and there's a list of locations that are listed on the search results page as well that are referencing pins on the map. And that's generally Google, Yahoo, and Bing who deliver a map with a list of locations that's along the side of it. That's what is called the map pack. There was a couple questions about, is there a reporting suite just for local SEO? And so there are multiple reporting suites that measure some of these data points. What we've done with our software is we've gone out and looked at all the different reporting software out there and brought those data points back into our software because many of them don't work together. So getting Core Metrics or Google Analytics along with other ranking reporting all coming back into one environment allows us to use external software and reporting and bring it into our platform and roll it up. So there's definitely many options out there to measure local SEO rankings, and our software summarizes it and rolls it up for you.
Yeah, and I think for more smaller scale campaigns, or when you're not looking at tens of thousands of locations, there's some good options like Places Scout or White Spark that provide good insight around those.
Yeah, Bright Local as well. Yep.
Yeah, more for manageable reporting. But the key piece is with that multi-location business, it's really bringing in hundreds or thousands of data points into a single report, which we've done with our software. So.
Yeah. Next one was, what is a local example of a local URL? So a local URL should be injected into all your listings and all your citations, and that is the local landing page that is specific for that store. So if you've got a store finder and you're able to drill down to a particular store, once you've reached that store's local landing page URL, that's a URL that you should submit and syndicate, and that is the URL that's going to be the foundation of all your analytics, all of your activity, and all your conversions, as well as where you'll apply your best practice local SEO will be in the HTML of that local landing page URL. Hopefully that answered that question. And then I think the next one here was, how do you use tracking phone numbers in local pages when Google wants your phone number to match your local business listing phone number? And so we've seen customers use tracking phone numbers in large images. We've seen customers actually put the tracking numbers in larger fonts but not wrap the schema around them. So you can display your local business listing phone number small and off to the side, and you can display a very large call tracking number that can be image-based or does not have a telephone number wrapped around it. And that'll allow you to track call tracking coming from local landing pages without confusing the search engines between the number for tracking and the actual physical line that rings within the store. And then there was one around how you register multiple locations in Google, and that's through Google's bulk spreadsheet feed that allows any brand with more than 10 locations to submit all of their locations in a pre-formatted spreadsheet that allows Google then to import that information and make sure that it all matches. And so, again, using a tool that can assemble those spreadsheets for you will help make life easier when you're trying to submit bulk feeds to Google+. Tyler, you have another question?
Yeah, I think there was another great question on, what URL should be in your local business listings where you have multiple locations per major metro. So along with that bulk upload tool from Google, Yahoo, and Bing. You're submitting local landing pages, so if you have individual local landing pages for each one, you want to make sure, like Bill said, to attach that to that local listing. When it comes to a metro, there's really no metro business listing, but having a metro landing page or region page on your store finder, like a Arizona page or a California page, can help you rank in organic results when somebody says maybe Sporting Goods San Diego. That's how you can kind of get multiple rankings using those, the individual locations in that area based on your IP address and geolocation, as well as the organic results from that overall geo area page. But there's no metro URL that you can submit as a business listing. It's more individual based that you would want to apply to that.
Yeah, also, Tyler, I've seen some brands actually where they may have 10 or even 20 locations in a city where they'll inject their city landing page so that no matter which location of theirs shows up in the Mac pack, when the consumer clicks through, it goes to their city page and allows the consumer to find a location, especially in big markets like San Diego or Los Angeles, where you could be on the other side of the city. So injecting a city page URL can be an option for locations, multi-locations in the same city, or you can inject, again, your local landing page URL. So. All right, so let's look and see if we have any additional questions here. There was one that came in, says, which sources do you see ranking most impacted by review volume and review content? And so, there are a lot of social networks and environments out there where your rankings or ratings can be managed, where you can try to increase your ratings on Yelp or Google+, but measuring rankings is not just one thing. Measuring rankings in search engines and social networks, everyone is different. Everyone has different algorithms, and the number or stars or ratings can have a different effect in a different environment. So there's no one set thing that says if you get ratings of 4.5, you're going to rank number 2. That's not that simple. It also matters how many ratings your competitors have. So a higher ranking may be a 3 if all your competitors are averaging 2.5. So lots of variables there. No one answer that says exactly how higher reviews and higher ratings will increase rankings. You got another question there, Tyler?
Yeah, I think this would be a great question for you, Bill. Is with multiple locations, would it matter if we use subdomain or actual separate domains for each location, and how this will affect our local ranking?
Great. So the jury is still out. We have customers that choose all kinds of different ways. We've seen a subdomain for stores, and that really gives you the ability to drill down in analytics and activity and treat it almost like a separate website. But we've also seen subdomains for cities. Big companies like Craigslist and City Search all have done city subdomains and rank really well for those type of pages. So it comes down to how you feel and maybe what your SEO director feels would be best practice. But we've seen all of them work. So whether it's a city subdomain or a subdomain within a store or even a subfolder off of a store level, all of those can have an effect on your ranking, especially when your location information is included in the URL. So things like the city and state and even the zip code being included in the URL, whether it's on a subdomain or on a subfolder level, can have a big effect on your ranking.
And I think to follow that up, too, is if I'm reading the question correct, is about using separate domains for each location. So like a San Diego sportsauthority.com versus sportsauthority.com. So I think that comes into, around SEO and page rank and domain authority. is by having the locator and the local landing pages attached to your parent domain is going to pass that domain authority through to those subdomains or subfolders. So if you if you were to build local landing pages on their own domain individually, which some businesses do, you're going to have to basically start fresh with your domain authority. It hasn't been seen, it hasn't passing through all of the multiple levels that your main domain is delivering. So keep that in mind too. And also from a user experience, what is easier to remember? Remembering multiple location or a single domain or multiple domains for a group set of locations. So all around user experience and SEO for that one as well.
Thanks, Tyler. Here's one about what about international locations and languages? So every country has a different subset of search engines and data aggregators. The key truly here is getting all your location data managed in a single content management system, and then sorting out the countries and sorting out the languages and sorting out the aggregators that are needed to be submitted or reported from. But you have to take it on a per country level. And that's where segmented reporting and segmented syndication can really come into play. But you definitely must take each country and an attack on each country differently because there are different environments to manage. And I've seen many software solutions are only U.S. and Canada. You definitely want to get a software solution if you have international locations that can handle multiple languages and also scan and monitor multiple search engines across multiple countries. Okay, so I think we're getting down to the wire there. We've got no more questions out there, Chris, so I think we can wrap it up and talk about next steps.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Great presentation. Audience, this will be available on demand and probably within the hour. And as you know, there was a lot of great content in here and some really good questions that you might want to revisit again. So just check back at our website at digitalmarketingdepot.com or just look for my email letting you know when it's ready to go. Thanks again, Bill and Tyler. Great presentation. Thanks, Rio, for sponsoring today's webcast. And as Bill said, that is all the time we have for our broadcast today. We do look forward to seeing you here next time right here at Digital Marketing Depot.